What's up, Lakers supporters? It's episode 9 of the Chisme podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and this is just to update you on the current status of the Lakers team and the organization. So as of right now, it's about 5:45, 5:50 p.m. Pacific time. DeMarcus Cousins has been waived by the Lakers, and they're looking to, I don't know if it's been finalized, but sign Markieff Morris, who was bought out by Detroit recently. And if you follow the NBA and what's going on locally, the Clippers signed Markieff Morris, his twin brother from New York, or they traded for him. But anyway, that's making the team a little bit more interesting. I hate to see Boogie go, but I don't know what's in his future. As for the Lakers, they seems like they're retaining their core. They're being very patient with. Technically, this is part of free agency, but it's like the second round of the NBA draft. So some players go in the first round. Other players have to wait till the second to get drafted by another team. So that's essentially what the buyout market is. It's not to make light of the situation or make a joke out of it, but it's kind of like the clearance rack for free agents. So certain players, the teams, it's a business strategy. So the teams that have the rights to the player's contract, they want to get something in return, either as a trade or as some financial incentive where they're getting cash, or both, draft picks, whatever. It's about assets because it's business. Now, the buyout market is more if you weren't taken during free agency, you weren't traded, but you have a big contract and the team doesn't necessarily want to buy you out. That's kind of the team's last resort. So when it happens, they don't have a roster spot or the numbers don't match, then they buy them out, and then essentially they become a free agent. So that's kind of what happened to Markieff Morris. So he's 6'8" power forward. I think he's about 225, 235. I think the strategy is that the Lakers are bringing him on so that he can body up some of these bigger guards, bigger forwards who like to get close to the paint. I think it's a little bit of an offensive strategy, but it's also, depending on how they negotiate it, it might be a defensive strategy as far as him coming onto the team, because this is a defensive year. Lakers, I think they have the top 5 offense and defense in the NBA. So they need other players who are like-minded, have that mentality that it's not all about playing small ball and shooting the three. That's great. It's cool strategy. I'm sure it worked in Phoenix under D'Antoni. It may not have. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But I think it's kind of like a trend. Everyone knows what works. Solid coach, solid coaching staff, healthy players, great trainers, great back office as far as management, operation go, or governing, however you want to phrase it. But it seems like the Lakers are really putting themselves in a position. Their weakest point, still in my opinion, is that they're lacking on the you could call it a playmaker, just distributor, depending on what happens in the postseason. So once LeBron's off the floor, they're not as efficient with their offense. So that's the only thing that I would critique. But aside from that, it seems like they're stacking the team with the right players, doing it the right way via, trades or the buyout market. They didn't make, like I said earlier, they didn't make any quick moves. So they're being very patient, and it seems like methodic at how they want to approach, what's coming up this next portion of the season, as well as the postseason, because that starts in late April. I think it's about April 18th. So the Lakers definitely have some work to do as far as how they're playing, the cohesion. Right now, their schedule is tonight at 7:30 p.m. at Staples. They're playing Memphis. On Sunday, they gotta get some revenge against Boston. They're playing at 12:30 on Sunday, and then Tuesday they're playing New Orleans. I think it's at 7:30 as well at home. So there's a few big games coming up. But aside from that, moving forward in March, it's March Madness for them. They have to play the Bucks at home, play the Sixers at home. Also need to avenge those games that they lost on the road. They got to play the Clippers on the road, and they have to play Denver again. They have to play the Jazz twice. So March is going to be very difficult for the team, and I'm pretty certain, they have what it takes. They've been on break for a week or so, so hopefully they're in position to really continue what they've been doing, continue their streaks, build upon the camaraderie that they already have established from the preseason until now. We're all excited to see. We all kind of need this at this present time. But aside from how the Lakers are playing, I want to mention LeBron's I Promise School. He's getting 193 students to Kent State on a free ride. I don't know all the details. I just know that that's been put in motion. And then he has his I Promise book that's, it seems like designed to promote family literacy and bonding and family time. That's coming out August 11th, 2020. So aside from LeBron's accomplishments on the court, he's doing a lot of great things outside of basketball, and I'm happy to see that. I'm proud to see that. I'm happy that LeBron's here, happy that people like KCP and Dwight Howard and people wanted to return to the team because they could have easily gone elsewhere. They also could have made more money, but it's just not the same thing. So I'm glad we have the team that we have, the coaching staff. The organization seems like it's moving in the right direction. The other thing, aside from that, I guess I would touch on briefly is Kuzma's play and his role with Markieff Morris coming over. And it seems like Markieff is playing more so the 4 spot at the power forward. So that would essentially move Kuzma to the 3 spot at small forward. It really depends on the lineup because the Lakers have a very eclectic team. So they could play various spots, and people have different skill sets, like as you're seeing with LeBron and, tapping into his inner Magic Johnson. But it seems like Kuzma will hopefully mesh more into the rotation as things go along. And the reason why that's important is because he's never been to the playoffs. So I'm I'm anticipating his role in the team as things move along. But thanks again for joining, and hope to see you soon. Hope you join me again, and let's go Lakers. Let's see what happens the remainder of the season. Thank you.